Good morning, class 9. How are you doing today? Guess you all are doing great and doing good, and keeping home, keeping safe, and that's what is all needed at this time. Today is the 16th, and it's again extended in Bihar. It's getting worse. Worse. It's got much more worse in Kolkata, the place where I stay next to the airport area. That's become very dangerous now, and people are dying, which is not good, and it's not good for to hear about it also. So our work is just to be safe and take care of ourselves and take care of our whole family at the same time. By God's blessing, we all are safe till now, and hope we keeping safe for the next till the pandemic doesn't slow down. You know. So I'm back with SST today again and SSC. Sorry. So we'll be doing actually the socialism in Europe, which we were there. So I'll just read first, and after that I'll come to where we are supposed to be. So basically, what we have done earlier is we were on the liberals and conservatives, industries and social change. Also, we talked about socialism in Europe. What we are going to do today is like socialists were against private property. They didn't want people to have private properties, and more than anything else, they had different visions of the future. Some believed in cooperatives, some demanded that governments must encourage cooperatives, cooperatives. Karl Marx and Friedrich Engels added that industrial society meant capitalist society, which was not profitable for everyone. Marx believed that a socialist society would free workers from capitalism. This would be a communist society in which collective ownership of land and factories would be promoted. Socialism was given support by workers in Germany, and England began forming associations to fight for better living conditions. They set up funds for members in distress, reduction of working hours, and the right to vote. After that, the revolution came in, the Russian Revolution came. So, Karl Marx has a great change and about the socialism of coming into Europe. So I'll first read and then I'll explain. So, perhaps one of the most and far reaching visions of how society should be structured was socialism. Socialism. By the mid 19th century in Europe, socialism was a well-known body of ideas that attracted widespread attention. Socialists were against private property and saw it was the root of all social ills of that particular time. Why? Individuals owned the property that gave employment, but the propertized were concerned only with personal gains and not with the welfare of those who made the property productive. This has got an explanation, I'll tell you. Now, so if the society is a whole rather than a single individual, then single individuals control property, more attention would be paid to collective and social interests. Socialists wanted this change and campaigned for it. Now, how could a society without property operate? What would be the basis of socialist society? Now, individuals owned a lot of land, as I said about that factory thing which I was talking to you about the last time. And I'm getting people that to work, but I'm not giving them the right thing, and they are only getting me the profit. I am taking the full butter of it. And I'm not thinking about the people who are giving me this butter. That is wrong. So why don't we stop this individual controlled properties? More attention would be paid to collective social interests. If everybody starts owning properties, or everybody gets a share out of it, or everyone removes that single person and together they work on this, everyone can have a better life. This is the change they wanted. Coming into Europe slowly, slowly. How could a society with property operate? Without property operate? What would be the basis of socialist society? What will be the base? Now 10 things we should know, rather, or whatever, as far as I can tell you. 200 years ago, socialism spread across the world. In every country, it carries the lesson and scars of its particular history there. If we convert it conversely, each country's socialism is shaped by the global history, rich tradition, diverse interpretations of a movement that has been the world's major response to capitalism as a system. And this is happening, and this is history. Somewhere or the other, by rich traditions have been there, diversity was too much there of the movement, revolutions came in. Then they wanted to, everyone was oppressed. Once you get oppressed, there is a reaction to it. We need to understand socialism because it has shaped our history and will shape our future also. It's an immense resource. Immense resource of what? Immense resource of, that's the accumulated thoughts, experiences, experiments accomplished by those yearning to do better than a capitalism. Understanding socialism means democracy at work. Basic theories and practices of socialism. It has successes, it has challenges, and it has its confront failures also. Now the point of a new socialism is based on the workplace democracy. First, socialism is a yearning for something better than capitalism. Basic rule. Socialism represents the awareness of employees that their sufferings and limitations come less from their employers than from the capitalist systems. You understood my point? I can't even ask you, do you understand? You will say yes. Generally everyone says yes. Yes. When you say no, it becomes more challenging for me. I like it more than when you say no, sir, I didn't understand this point, please explain it. But we don't have that source here. But I will do it for you, don't worry. Now, what was capitalism? Just now I said that landowner, individual thing. They are taking the butter. Got my point? The point is, socialism is yearning or getting something or wanting something better than capitalism from that individual ownership. We'll keep that example only. The awareness of employees to know that you are suffering and your limitations are less from their employers than from the capitalist system. You are having more problems if you have a socialism. If you are aware of it, you will have less problem. Problems will be there, but lesser than that. We will be at least able to live. We will be able to gain. We will be able to learn. We will be able to educate. We will be able to progress. That system prescribes incentives and options for both sides, rewards as well as punishments for their behavioral choices. It generates an endless struggle. Struggles and employees' realization that system change is the way out. Now, Karl Marx defined a fundamental justice, exploitation, located in capital's core relationship between employee and employer. Exploiting. Exploitation in Marx terms describes situation in which employees produce more value for employers than the values of wages paid to them. Capitalist exploitation shapes everything in capitalist societies. Yearning for a better society, socialists increasingly demand the end of exploitation and an alternative in which employees can function as their own employer. Socialists want to be able to explore and develop their full potential as individuals and members of the society while contributing the same thing in its welfare and growth. That is socialism. That's what Karl Marx wanted to say. Got my point? So, it's an economic system different from the capitalism, feudalism and slavery, socialism. It's an economic system. You agree or not? I think it's an economic system. I'll come back in the next video.